Let me tell you something: who you remove from your life is just as important as who you invite into it. Success, peace, and purpose are not just about what you gain, but also about what you let go of. There are 5 kinds of people you don't need on your journey. 5 types who will weigh you down, hold you back, and steal the fire right out of your soul. These people, they don't see your vision because it wasn't given to them. They tell you what's impossible, not because it is, but because they couldn't do it. Their doubts are not your reality. Their limits are not your limits. They'll shake your hand and stab you in the back with the other. These people don't clap when you win. They whisper when you leave the room. Listen closely, not to their words, but to their silence when you succeed. If they can't celebrate you, they don't deserve a seat at your table. They mean well. They tell you to stay safe. Take it easy. Don't go too far. But listen, nothing great was ever built in a comfort zone. If you listen to them, you'll spend your whole life in the shallow end of the pool, afraid to swim in the deep waters of your destiny. You don't need a fan club. You need truth tellers. If someone agrees with everything you say, they are either lying or they don't care enough to tell you the truth. Growth comes from challenge, not empty praise. You ever talk to someone and feel exhausted afterward? That's an energy vampire. They suck the joy, the focus, the faith right out of you. You cannot build, create, or thrive when you are drained. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Your time is valuable. Your peace is priceless. Not everyone deserves access to you. You are not a dumping ground for negativity, doubt, or fear. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, the right people will lift you higher and the wrong people will pull you under. Choose wisely. These people, they don't see your vision because it wasn't given to them. They tell you what's impossible, not because it is, but because they couldn't do it. Their doubts are not your reality. Their limits are not your limits. They'll look you dead in the eye and say, be realistic. But realistic to who? To them? To their experiences? To their fears? If every great mind had been realistic, we wouldn't have electricity. We wouldn't have flight. We wouldn't have the impossible turned possible. Dream killers come in all forms. Sometimes it's a friend, a teacher, even family. They think they're helping, protecting you from failure. But what they're really doing is planting seeds of doubt, watering them with fear, and watching them grow into hesitation. They'll remind you of every mistake you've made, every reason you shouldn't succeed. But let me ask you this: who gave them the authority to write the final chapter of your story? They don't own your dream. They didn't put it in you, and they sure can't take it out of you. The real danger isn't that they doubt you, it's that you start to believe them. Because the second you accept their version of reality, you've already lost. So when they tell you it's too hard, say, good, I don't want easy. When they say, what if you fail? Say, then I learn, and I try again. And when they say, be realistic, say, I'd rather be relentless. They'll smile in your face, laugh at your jokes, maybe even call you friend. But deep down, something about your success unsettles them. They clap just enough to blend in, but never loud enough to truly celebrate you. Watch closely, not their words, but their energy. Because envy doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it hides in plain sight. These people don't hate you outright. It's more complicated than that. They see you winning, and instead of feeling inspired, they feel exposed. Your progress reminds them of the work they haven't done. Your discipline makes their excuses look weak. Your courage makes their fears harder to ignore. So what do? They downplay your success. Oh, you got that promotion? Must be nice. You started a business? Let's see how long that lasts. They throw little jabs, tiny seeds of doubt, hoping you'll shrink just enough to make them comfortable again. But don't take it personally. Their battle isn't with you, it's with themselves. They're wrestling with a version of them that could have been if they had just done the work. If they had just believed in themselves the way you do. The truth is, you can't fix this for them. You can't dim your light to make someone else feel better about sitting in the dark. So don't waste time trying to prove you're deserving. Don't explain your journey to someone who was never willing to take the first step. Let them watch, let them whisper, let them sit in their shadows, because the ones who truly support you, they don't stand in the dark, they stand with you in the light. They mean well, they really do. They're the ones who tell you to be careful, to take it slow, to not get ahead of yourself. They want you to play it safe, to stay where it's familiar, to keep both feet planted on the ground, because that's what they do. And if you start reaching higher, pushing further, breaking limits, it forces them to ask themselves why they're still standing still. Comfort is their currency. They trade in predictability, in routine, in avoiding risk at all costs. They believe success should come easy, that struggle means you're doing something wrong. But listen, nothing great is built in comfort. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Every person who's ever done something worth remembering had to break out of where they were to get to where they were meant to be. The comfort zone crew doesn't want you to fail, but they don't want you to fly too high either. They think they're protecting you, but really, they're projecting their fears onto you. They see your ambition as a threat, because if you step outside the zone and make it, what does that say about them? You have to understand. Their path is not your path. Their limits are not your limits. If you listen to them, you'll spend your whole life standing on the shore, afraid to dive into the deep waters of your destiny. So thank them for their concern. Love them if you must. But don't you dare let them keep you stuck. Because the only thing waiting for you in the comfort zone is regret. They nod. They agree. They tell you exactly what you want to hear, never what you need to hear. They smile when they should challenge you. They applaud when they should correct you. And you think they have your back, but really they're just making sure they stay on your good side. At first, it feels good to have them around. Who doesn't want support? Who doesn't like being told they're always right? But here's the problem: growth doesn't come from constant agreement. Strength isn't built by avoiding resistance. And if no one in your circle ever challenges you, you might just be standing in an echo chamber mistaking noise for wisdom. Yes, men and yes, women aren't looking out for your best interest, they're looking out for their own comfort. They don't want to risk upsetting you, so they tell you your bad ideas are brilliant, your mistakes are minor, and your ego is justified. They'll watch you walk toward failure and still tell you you're on the right path, not because they believe it, but because they don't want to be the one to say otherwise. Real friends, real mentors, real people who care about you will tell you the truth, even when it stings. They'll call you out when you're slipping. They'll push you to do better, be better. And they won't just clap when you win, they'll tell you when you need to step up too. So ask yourself, do you want people who make you comfortable? Or people who make you great? Because the ones who only say yes are the same ones who let you walk straight off a cliff. You ever talk to someone and feel drained afterward? Like they didn't just take your time, they took your energy, your motivation, your peace of mind? That's an energy vampire. They don't bite your neck, but they will suck the life right out of your spirit. These people come in many forms. Some bring constant negativity, nothing is ever good enough. Every situation is the end of the world. And no matter what you say, they'll find a way to turn hope into doubt. Others thrive on drama, pulling you into their chaos, making their problems your problems, always needing something but never giving anything in return. And then there are the ones who disguise themselves as friends, as family, as supporters. But every time you're around them, you feel a little less sure of yourself, a little less inspired, a little more exhausted. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your energy. Protect it, because energy is fuel, and if you let the wrong people deplete you, you'll have nothing left for your own dreams, your own growth, your own peace. And here's the thing, energy vampires don't always know they're doing it. They don't wake up thinking, who can I drain today? But whether they realize it or not, the effect is the same. And if you're always the one lifting, encouraging, carrying the weight of their burdens, but they never pour back into you, then you have to make a choice. You can spend your life trying to revive the people who keep pulling you down, or you can surround yourself with those who bring light, who add value, who energize you instead of exhaust you. Because the people in your life should fuel your fire, not put it out. They always have a reason why they can't, why it won't work, why now isn't the right time. It's never them, it's always the economy, the system, their past, their circumstances. They have a list of excuses so long they could turn it into a novel, but not a single solution in sight. Excuse makers will tell you they want more, but when it's time to put in the work, they disappear. They admire success from a distance, but convince themselves that life has stacked the deck too high for them to even try. And the most dangerous part, if you spend too much time around them, you'll start adopting their mindset without even realizing it. Because excuses are contagious. You hang around people who justify their lack of action, and suddenly you start making justifications of your own. You begin to believe that maybe you should wait, maybe you should play it safe, maybe the time just isn't right for you either. And before you know it, you've wasted months, years, waiting for a perfect moment that will never come. But the truth is, people who want something bad enough don't look for excuses, they look for ways. They don't talk about why they can't, they figure out how they will. And the people you surround yourself with will either push you toward that mindset or pull you away from it. So watch closely. If you want to grow, you can't afford to keep company with those who spend more time explaining their failures than learning from them. Because while they're busy making excuses, somebody else is out there making it happen. They always have a story to tell, a secret to spill, a whisper to pass along. They act like they're just keeping you in the loop. But what they're really doing is making other people's business your entertainment. And if they're bringing you gossip about someone else, you can bet they're carrying gossip about you to someone else. In life, the people you surround yourself with can either push you forward or hold you back. Some will doubt you, some will envy you, some will drain you, and some will try to keep you comfortable in a place you've long outgrown. Whether it's the dream killers, the envious shadows, the comfort zone crew, or the fear-spreaders, their influence can slowly chip away at your belief, your ambition, and your momentum if you're on. But here's the truth, you decide who gets a voice in your life. You choose whose words shape your journey. And if someone isn't fueling your fire, they have no business standing near it. So be mindful. Protect your energy. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who inspire you, who push you toward your purpose, not away from it. Because at the end of the day, the only thing worse than failing is looking back and realizing you never even tried just because you listened to the wrong voices. Gossip carriers thrive on drama. They don't create, they don't build, they don't elevate, they circulate nonsense. They sit on the sidelines of life, picking apart other people's moves instead of making their own. And the worst part, they want to pull you into their cycle, making sure you waste your time and energy on things that don't matter. At first, it might seem harmless. Just talk, just stories. But gossip isn't just words, it's poison. It breeds negativity, destroys trust, and keeps people distracted from their real purpose. You can't focus on your own growth while you're busy dissecting someone else's mistakes. You can't move forward while looking sideways at someone else's life. And here's the thing, gossipers are never loyal. They don't gossip for you, they gossip with you. And the second your back is turned, you become the next topic of conversation. So pay attention. If someone's always feeding you negativity, ask yourself why they're so focused on other people's lives instead of their own. And more importantly, ask yourself why you're letting them take up space in yours. Because the moment you stop entertaining it, the moment you refuse to engage, is the moment you take back your energy and put it where it belongs, on building something real.